Osborne goes 1-1 at Hangtown. Hortner's got a problem. Jeremy Martin wins the first moto at Glen Helen.
You know, more regularly.
And Savacci off the track. Unbelievable.
You gotta be kidding me. I'm sure he's got a lot of people hopping in.
And down hard is Ferrandis. Somebody's down.
That is Plessinger. Look at Savacci. He's gonna have a look.
Savacci, nice line to the inside. Alex Martin wins one of the best motos you'll ever see. Okay, so we have a great championship shaping up here in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, and we hope it just keeps on running. Next week we'll be at Muddy Creek in Tennessee, just outside of Bristol. And then Red Bud, the traditional 4th of July celebration, Southwick Sand Track in Massachusetts, Spring Creek in Minnesota. We'll roll all the way to the Ironman just outside of Indianapolis for our season finale. But this track has been changed quite a bit. It's been on the schedule for a long time, but you see how different it is, the MX versus ATV track map.
So we're at the back part of the track. This is that big quad that everyone is trying to get over. Sweep left down to this gully. See everyone kind of coming up short on the face of that step up. Drop back down through the gears, 3rd, 4th, another triple into the sharp left-hander, and if you Blake bag it, you can make a double out of that jump that you saw back there. Down through the gully, through the rollers, and up past the old finish line. That gives you a little taste here of what Mount Morris looks like.
And we'll be right back after this. The 250 riders are ready to go. The first moto, which should be a spectacular race, coming up next. Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship rolls on next week. We are at Muddy Creek Raceway, just outside of Bristol, Tennessee. The Tennessee National, round 5 of the series. First motos, as always, live at 1 o'clock local time. That's Eastern next weekend. Only right here on MAV TV or on the NBC Sports Gold app. So tune us in either way. Now, a minute and a half between the gate drop in this first 250 moto and where we are now. Here's your KTM keys to the moto.
Well, the KTM keys to the moto today, we got a new layout, so figure out the lines, how they're developing, and possibly where there's some new passing spots if you don't get a good start. Tame the track. We've seen this track claim a lot of victims in practice, and even in the first moto we saw. Make sure you tame it, it doesn't tame you, and then of course get a good start. It makes life a lot easier. You heard the 450 riders say they knew a good start was going to be important. This track has a tendency to sort of funnel out very quickly, so if you're in 20th, you're going to be 20 seconds behind within a lap or so.
So there's Nicole taking the Fly Racing 30-second card away. We are just about ready. Actually, no, Nicole had the Moto 1 sign. It will be Kerry Bolin with the 30-second card up, and the mechanics are going to file away from the racetrack in just a moment. Just like the 450 scenario, we have had 5 different Moto winners in the 250 class over the first 6 of the season. Fly Racing 30-second card now up. I think there's good odds that we could see a 7th Moto winner of the season right here, right now. There's certainly more than 5 capable riders. By the end of today, we could add 6, maybe 7 to the record book. It would have been a fantastic season so far. Zach Osborne, your points leader. Joey Savacci won the last race overall. Alex Martin won the first moto last week. So many riders to pick from. Such deep competition. The revs are up, and the gate is down at High Point. And Jerry Martin leads them into the first turn of the number 6 Geico Honda. Aaron Plessinger, who we weren't sure would even line up after a big crash in practice, is second, battling it out with Osborne. Osborne to the inside is going to secure that spot.
Oh, is he?
No, maybe not. Plessinger going to run it high around the outside. And Osborne chops him off.
Yeah, he had to do that. Take the line away, seal the deal. Oh, and a big pileup.
Jeez.
There's Colt Nichols in there. Alex Martin trying to figure out
That's
how many.
Mosman. Chase Sexton, 486, his first pro race. Starts not with a bang, with a whimper. Jerry Robin down. Man, that's disappointing for those guys. Look at Plessinger coming back on Osborne to take second away.
Yeah, great move there. And same thing for these guys. It's the first lap of the first moto, and this track is completely different from practice, even the way it looks. It's dried out. They've groomed some areas. It's gotten rougher in other areas. And we saw, you know, with Tomac, he bit the dust on that opening lap. So probably a couple guys being a little tentative. And Osborne's not one of those guys that's going to hang it out in the opening lap. Kind of a little bit like Baggett, but they're very methodical, and he'll pick up a few tenths every lap moving forward.
RJ Hampshire, another Geico Honda, back in action. First motocross race this year for him, looking to make moves on Osborne for third. That's the 31. And here comes Savacci on the 17 as well.
250 riders got the memo of what Baggett was doing.
Yeah.
You see there, straight to the outside went Plessinger, and that you can see how much time he gained from that.
Oh, Hampshire, a rough run through that corner, looking for running room on Osborne. He might have it. He's going to dance his way down to the inside.
Ooh. Wow, that was some good charging there from Hampshire. Oh, not quite.
Oh, it is wheel to wheel in this uphill. Hampshire not going to triple, instead scrubs the double. It's not enough. Osborne's going to hold on to the spot. Got Savacci right there as well. And Sean Cantrell, the rookie who continues to turn heads. Troy Lee Designs KTM is next in the order. Great racing early on as Jeremy Martin tries to get away.
Yeah, great racing. Osborne probably not too familiar with having this amount of pressure in the opening laps. He's had it, I don't want to say all his own way, but he's just seemed to be good enough that he didn't have to battle with anyone or get hounded by anyone. But behind him, the battle rages on. Savacci going after Cantrell. Cantrell, you know, going back after him.
And the next rider to watch is going to be CNC Rulo. Okay, Cantrell. No, I thought Cantrell was going to get passed by Adam, but no, he's going after Savacci down to the inside.
Oh, he almost had him there. Yeah, they've been side by side in the background for about a half a lap. Cantrell definitely not intimidated. He's like, hey, man, I get paid to win races. I don't care who's in my way. I'm going to go for it.
This is the kind of racing that we saw at our last race in Colorado in this class. Look at this. 5 riders are in the same shot.
There's Cincerella now.
Yep, and there's Savacci trying to take it away from Hampshire. This would be 4th with Osborne just ahead. Just like in Colorado. 3 turns ago, Savacci was about to get passed, and now he's about to pass the rider in front of him. Yeah. And Cianciarulo just got around Cantrell, yeah. And now he's going after Savacci. This is unbelievable racing.
Let's see if he's got this line figured out.
Yes, he does. And let's see how much faster it is. It's much faster.
That's what I'm saying. It is much faster. If you want to win today in either class, you basically got to do that.
And now a mistake by Hampshire, and Cianciarulo has gone through 3 riders in about a half of a lap to get to 4th.
Wow, he didn't even wait for an invitation.
Cantrell now. He's gotten Savacci, and he's going to get Hampshire, and he's going to get Cianciarulo also.
Look at this. This is incredible. This is awesome.
5 riders again in the same shot. What is going on in this class this year? Racing's always good in the 250s, but this has been next level. Sean Cantrell, the pro rookie, has made the pass and is going to get the 4th. No! Cianciarulo shuts him down.
What great racing. Look at that power slide around the outside there. Great line. Probably just a little too far out there, and Cincerella got good drive on the inside. Well, how about Cantrell? He's, I got to say, he probably loves this track. Well, he's enjoying it right now because he looks very good.
Yeah, and I don't believe he's ever raced here before. California kid, certainly was familiar with the first couple of tracks. Here he's learning on the fly. Other riders in the hunt. Faulkner has made the move on Hampshire. Ferrandis, Cunningham, Hill. That's your top 10. It is close. While Jeremy Martin has opened it up 1.4 seconds over second place Plessinger. Then it's Osborne, and then it's throw a blanket over everyone else, 4th through 10th.
Yeah, I saw Ferrandis move a Kawasaki there, and I think it might have been Faulkner. Yeah, Faulkner just got moved by Ferrandis at the bottom of the hill there.
So for the moment, Cianciarulo, it has settled down. He's made these passes to get to 4th. Let's see if he can now try to run down Osborne. How about this guy? Huge crash in practice for Aaron Plessinger. I thought he wasn't going to ride. I checked with his dad before the first moto. He said he's going to try it. Well, more than trying right now, he is succeeding, running in 2nd.
And none of the front 3 doing that double jump. So it's going to give an advantage to the guys behind.
And here's the crash for Plessinger from practice. Watch this. Got flipped off the bike. The ruts were claiming a lot of guys in practice. They've done a lot of track work since then. Yeah, he was hurting. I don't want to get too specific with the injury, but let's just say that it was very painful. And he was able to come back out here and race well. I would say, though, these track conditions, if you're Plessinger, you want to suit up today. These are the types of tracks that work for him. He's good in this soft soil in the mud, the ruts. He's as an off-road rider, and it's showing right now. Yeah, and he's all over Jeremy Martin. In fact, the front 3 have just sort of started bunching up a little bit. So sort of 2 battles at the moment. One going on for the lead, and then a little bit behind these guys is that big gaggle fighting over 4th. Jeremy not able to get away this time. Here comes Plessinger, going to bring the fight to him. And Osborne is right there. And Cantrell, meanwhile, has now made the pass. I'm seeing Cirulo so impressive by him to get up to fourth, not messing around. Here comes Plessinger down to the inside.
Yeah, Plessinger can see, as he takes a look over, he can see Osborne creeping up on that rear fender. That's never a comforting feeling. Gives you that sense of urgency. So see if he tries to mount an attack here on Jeremy Martin, who's holding his own out front. It's not like he's holding the guys up. He's running his pace. But when someone's just fast enough and they're not making mistakes, it can make it so difficult to get around.
Yeah, well, we saw with that other group, 4th through 10th, how quickly you can make passes if you get there. Let's see if Plessinger can get right to the rear fender and challenge Jeremy Martin for the lead. There is Alex Martin, Jeremy's brother, who won the first moto last week, 16th. So he is probably the only one of our championship contenders not in the thick of it right now. Got to work his way forward. Oh, there's the line.
Yep, AP did it. I thought he did it earlier and then didn't do it. So, but I think he's figured out, oh, that's where I'm making up all my time, because every time he does it, if he's close enough next time around, he can. That's probably going to be the easiest place for him to get Martin. You don't need contact or anything. Just do that jump and you'll get it done.
We've been talking about teammate battles all season long, but it's been a rough one for the Yamaluke Star Racing team right now. Plessinger up front, but the other riders not where they want to be. Nichols and Harrison, who started the season off so strong, struggling a bit.
Well, Nichols was like A-marked, where they were down in that second turn.
Oh, okay. Oh, Osborne trying to make moves on Plessinger now for second past the mechanics area.
Yeah, he's trying. It's going to be tough here in this tight turn, especially if you're using the same line. Little mistake at the exit from Plessinger.
Right on him. I mean, absolutely right on that rear wheel is Osborne. Now he's going to try it around the outside. And Plessinger's got it covered. And this is going to allow Jeremy Martin to pull away just a little bit.
Yeah, these guys obviously don't want to get into a situation where they're holding each other up or blocking each other. It doesn't appear that way at the moment. But Plessinger obviously not going to just leave that door open. Probably hug a little more tighter line than normal.
Yeah, you don't want to leave the door open for Osborne. He already took Plessinger wide once on the first lap of this moto. Osborne going to try the outside. Well, Plessinger did the right thing. He held the insides, but it might not matter. Nah, it paid off. He's able to beat Osborne to the spot. Osborne going to try again. Squaring it up. Finding a line down the left side. And Plessinger able to hold him off.
Yeah. The way a couple of these turns work, especially that 180 turn right there, is they all kind of funnel into just two ruts. There's no berm or anything. You see, AP didn't do it that time.
And it has worked in Jeremy Martin's favor. He has actually pulled away a bit as these two are really going at it for second. The question is, could Cantrell, who is the 4th place rider, would he be able to close in on them? The gap's pretty big back there. About 8 seconds between he and everyone else in the running order. And Osborne continues to try to find a way around. He's got the long way on this hill.
Oh.
No, it didn't work, almost went down.
Yeah. Got a handful of throttle there in the middle of that rut, and it's got a little hook on it. You can see when it's both legs were off, and almost threw it away, but you got to just keep trying. You know, if you keep trying, eventually it'll happen.
And here we are, hard into a left-hand turn. This is after the start. And then they're headed toward the old sections of the racetrack here. This tunnel has been here since day 1 at High Point. And these two got into it in this very section in the first lap, and Osborne's going to try to do the exact same thing again. And he makes it work.
Yeah, just scrubbed that tunnel jump. You saw how low he stayed. Wheels barely came with the ground, and he just drove into those rollers and put his bike in the way. And Plessinger had to, you know, basically left the door open, and that was enough.
All right, so Plessinger could not get to Jeremy Martin. Can Osborne do it? Will the battle for the lead materialize at High Point? Let's find out.
Was in 7th,
and things continue to shake up here in the 250 class at High Point. Joey Salvacci who is gunning for top 5 early in this moto, won this race a year ago, won our last race in Colorado, now back to 15th and trying to get around Mitchell Harrison to move forward. So it has come unraveled for Savacci. I'd have to assume there was a mistake in there or a crash at some point. But just as quickly as he was starting to build momentum in this championship, he's got to start from scratch again.
Yeah, 15th place. It's a lot of points to be losing, especially when you got Osborne up in second. But still, obviously a fair amount of time. And if you look how far off he is, I mean, the good thing is fourth place is only 15 seconds ahead of him. So we know that if he just catches up, I think he's at the tail end of this big freight train anyway. So
yeah,
it's stretched out a little bit, but you know, if he really finds his groove the second half, there's a lot of points to be made up.
Back to the leaders. Jeremy Martin on the Geico Honda continues to hold it, but Zach Osborne continues to close. Just like you said, Grant, kind of a methodical attack from Osborne. Sat back there in third for a while, decided to pull the trigger on Plessinger, and now starting to close on your leader.
Yeah, he's definitely closing down on Martin, and Martin's ridden a good race. It's been solid, hasn't really put a foot wrong, but it just seems like a little bit of Osborne style, where first few laps keeps his nose clean, leaves himself in a position to obviously always be in a position to win. And then you see like 10 minutes into it, he starts getting his groove, and then the next 10 minutes he'll pick it up, and then usually towards the end is when he's absolutely flying.
Haven't seen any battling between these two this year. Tough first race of the season for Jeremy Martin. And then they kind of flip-flopped the good and bad motos at Glen Helen. And last week was a tough one for Osborne, and Jeremy was ahead of him the whole time. So first time we've seen them duke it out for the lead this year. Going to be interesting. 15 minutes down, 15 minutes to go. And you can save 15% or more on your insurance by giving Geico a call. Jeremy Martin, glad he called those folks. Got him a good bike right now. They've been getting some great starts as of late. And the rest of it's on him. He's got to try to hold off Osborne for this victory.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of racing to go. So you got to imagine for Jeremy, he's either got to pick it up a little bit or hope that Osborne, you know, maybe loses a little bit of pace or makes a mistake. But that seems a little unlikely. I think at the moment, Osborne's not someone to panic. You know, he kind of got to the rear wheel. Then it seems like maybe he just took a little breather, trying to figure out where he's going to make his attack. But I figure in the next 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to see Osborne really start putting the heat on.
Yeah, only halfway through this. It's settled down for the moment. It's down to these two. Plessinger back there about 5 seconds now from your leader. But for Plessinger, who had that practice crash, and they weren't sure he'd suit up, just salvaging third place points in this moto, they would probably feel like that's a victory. Every time you look, Osborne's a little bit closer.
Yeah, it's gone back and forth a little bit just in the last lap or two, and that's why I said you can tell by even Osborne's style, he's not hanging it out right now. I think he's quite happy with the position he's in.
Oh, he closed up big time. He's got that tunnel jump dialed, but the lap rider slows him, and he loses a lot of the ground that he made. Now a lap rider gets in the way of Martin and allows Osborne to get right back to him.
Well, that explains the yo-yo effect as well, especially when you're dealing with lap traffic. And we've seen in the 250 class, lap traffic, you can hit him pretty early. Is that, I think it was Nico Izzy they just got around there. Yeah,
yes,
Nico Izzy.
Izzy, yes he is. Get around him, and now the battle is about to materialize. About as close as Osborne has been. And Martin able to stretch it back out again. Cianciarulo is 4th over Ferrandis, then Faulkner, Hampshire, Cantrell 8th, Alex Martin up to 9th, great comeback by him. Kyle Cunningham is 10th, Shane McElrath right behind that. It's about to happen, 6 versus 16. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this turns out. Certainly the credentials of Jeremy with 2 championships in this class, they speak for themselves. But Osborne, this year's series points leader, should be fun to watch, and 2 of the more veteran riders in this class.
Yeah, both these guys have a lot of experience. Obviously, Osborne doing a lot of his pro racing in the GPs over in Europe. And this is a bit of a GP track. Oh, they both make a mistake. I was about to say, Martin makes a mistake. Is Osborne going to have a chance? And then Osborne almost looked like he may have hit a false neutral or something. See the guy stretching it out to get over that triple step up. Yeah, so like, you know, both these riders, a lot of experience. Jeremy, two-time champion. And remember his first season when he won, I remember he just came out and was just blew everyone's mind. He was winning, and couldn't figure it out. And then it just became a routine. And now, last year, you know, a little bit of...
There it is, that same line by Osborne. He has got that tunnel dialed, and he comes from about a second back to just suddenly take the lead from Martin. He has made up so much ground and has made several passes through that tunnel and the downhill rollers. Just like that, Osborne to the lead.
That was smooth. I wasn't paying attention to Martin, but I think the lap rider held him up just a little bit where he rolled one of the rollers on the inside, and Osborne just, as he came past the camera, you could hear that thing panic revving.
As we do this,
yeah, let's have a look at this. So obviously Osborne's on the outside. Yeah, Jeremy singles there. Watch, Osborne's able to keep that momentum and rhythm, and that's just enough. And then also puts him on the inside at the bottom of the hill.
Okay, critical juncture in the race now for Jeremy to see if he can stay with Osborne, because you can tell Osborne, as soon as he had that lead, was going to try to put in a sprint and open up the gap. But also has to negotiate the lappers. Let's see if he goes for the downhill double.
No, the front two haven't done it all race long, and even though it does cost them time, I can tell by the track drying out, it's not as much of an advantage jumping it, because before they had to slow down more because the bikes were so soft the bikes would actually bottom out, G out. Now they're hardening up, they can launch it.
All right, Osborne, let's see how big the gap is between he and Jeremy. He's starting to pull away for sure, so Martin's got to try to reset, go back after him. This would be a big moto win for Osborne, who was a little bit under the weather at our last event and is just trying to salvage some points at our last race. Now he's trying to win it and reestablish himself in the championship as your leader. See that Garmin Verb helmet camera on Jeremy Martin's helmet. This is our Garmin course preview from earlier. This is Jeremy Martin.
As from practice, this is that downhill where you see the ruts and the G out, then double up there, double up into the turn. Earlier everyone was using that inside, but now that we've seen it dry out a little bit, we've seen riders going to the right hand side and doubling down into this. Shift to gear through there, double back up the hill. That camera angle really shows you the elevation change around here. And watch, back down the hill. And then this has gotten really rough and choppy.
That was earlier. Right now, Jeremy Martin in the number 2 spot trying to chase down Osborne. And it's an all-new season of Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing. Don't miss some of the most intense four-wheel, door-to-door action. 2017 season starts tomorrow, Sunday, 2 Eastern and Pacific on MAV TV. That's the home office of RacerX Illustrated, also MX Sports, the company that operates this championship. Got the museum there in the middle. We've got some Grant Langston jerseys in there and lots of great Moto memorabilia. If they've ever made a toy that involves a dirt bike or a motorcycle, it's in that office, and a lot of great other stuff. Headquarters of Morgantown, West Virginia, about 15 minutes away. I spent many years working out of that office myself. And let's check back in with this battle, which has been raging the entire race for 4th. Watching it at MAV TV and also NBC Sports Gold. Subscribe now, get to watch all the motos live, as well as our practice show every morning. 36 is Adam Cianciarulo on the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki, but Dylan Ferrandis has been closing the entire time on the Yamaluke Star Racing Yamaha. Should be a good fight for 4th.
Wow, I see Cianciarulo just railed that outside there.
Richard, what are you hearing on Ferrandis?
Well, we know that this is known to be a kind of European-style track. Obviously, Dylan Ferrandis is from France. I mean, it has changed a lot, so maybe that's a loose term to use right now. But we saw him take the win at Glen Helen. He took a moto win. He showed his speed. He's just had bad luck throughout the last 3 races. He's got the ability to be able to show that speed and do these jumps as well. I mean, some of them are so tricky, but I think with his teammates and everyone on the team, he's really ready to get back on that podium.
Yeah, up and down season so far for Ferrandis. Did win a moto at round 2 at Glen Helen, but didn't finish any of the motos the week before at Hangtown due to a crash. Then he got stuck in the starting gate in our first Moto last week at Colorado. And then while running in the top 3 in Moto 2, had a crash. So we've seen great speed and 1 Moto win, but some problems beyond that. So is this going to be one of the good Motos or one of the bad? We're going to find out. Can he take 4th from AC?
I think so far it's a pretty good moto for him. I think any time in this class, if you're able to be consistently in the top 5, if you finish every moto 5th, there's a good chance you could win the championship. We've seen in the past, usually if you average 4th, that's good enough. But so take the top 5. You know, he's got Cincerello in front of him. He might be able to make that pass. If you get a 4th in the first moto, puts you in a decent overall situation to go out and win the second one. Look at this battle.
Plessinger. He's going after him. Yeah, absolutely. So it has come unraveled a bit for Jeremy Martin, who is leading the majority of this. Now he's clinging to 2nd place. And Plessinger, I mentioned it earlier, they weren't sure if he'd be able to line up for this one after a painful injury in practice. Pretty happy he's got to be that he lined up, because he might get a runner-up, and that's a lot of points for the title.
Absolutely, and that's obviously something that was in the back of his mind. I think if he knew you stood out today, kiss any hope to that championship goodbye. This class is too competitive for that. But come out here with a podium today, it's going to feel like a win.
And he's keeping the heat on, but a little mistake here allows Martin to pull back away. And he's got to reset and go back after it. All right, so Aaron tucks in. So much lap traffic today, more than usual. When the track conditions get tough,
it separates people a little bit more. And the other problem is some of these guys are having their own personal battles and not really paying attention to blue flags.
All right, Plessinger closing back in on Martin. Downhill we go. This section very tricky. No one has figured out a perfect line down here. It's just the lesser of evils.
Yeah, there isn't one, that's why.
Yeah.
But that inside line's coming back around. It's reforming. Remember, it had that big nasty hook in it? Well, all of them in that turn just about did. There must be something down there where the dirt changes, because you can see a hook in most of the lines. But the inside line's coming back around. Plessinger knows that, and Martin's using that outside line. So watch the next lap in that section if they're close.
Headed toward the tunnel area, which is where Osborne got Martin and where Plessinger almost got him 1 lap earlier. Here we go. This is a tunnel which feeds the spectators onto the infield. The riders go over that, and now the downhill rollers, and it looks like Martin's got that covered this time.
Yeah, I think it was just that 1 lap, and there were the lappers in front of him. And Osborne didn't need another invitation to make that one happen.
Yeah, Osborne has stretched it out, man. 9.2 seconds over Martin. So this could be a big moto win for Zach, who has not won one since the opener at Hangtown.
Oh, you mean he hasn't won in 4 motos? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how up and down this championship has been. How many other riders have been able to get in there?
Yeah, you can hear the fans starting to come alive. They sense this battle about a brew. But since Osborne got out front, I think he tried to break these guys mentally, because you could just see the difference in his riding style. Like, it looked like he was basically trying to throw in a couple qualifying laps.
Yeah.
Stretched it out, and yeah, that can't. I mean, any racer can tell you it's never that comforting when someone just ducks off into the distance and you're going, wow, what do I do? If he's just edging away, you're like, okay, I can fine-tune a few things and find those tenths, but no, it's a little frustrating when someone can do that, just wick it up.
Yeah, well, the best lap time tells a story. Osborne in the 158.8, that's his best. Martin and Plessinger have run 159, so about a second slower, and no one else under the 2-minute mark. We go back to this battle. Ferrandis has gotten around Cianciarulo, so good job by the Frenchman. Kept working it, and finally gets to 4th. But Cianciarulo is right there trying to repass him.
Yeah, these guys have figured out that inside line's probably your best option right now, even though it's got some deep holes in it.
Behind them would be Forkner, who's at a quiet but effective moto in 6th. But Alex Martin continues to charge. Alex up to 7th after being down early. RJ Hampshire is 8th. Savacci has climbed back up to 9th after being as far back as 15th. And Kyle Cunningham continues to put the JGR Autotrader.com Suzuki in 10th. And Ferrandis just pulling away a little bit now.
Yeah, it's getting that time of the moto, I think, for some guys, not throwing in the towel, but when you've tried everything and you get past, sometimes you can just take the wind out of your sails a little bit, and you're like, okay, this track is treacherous. I don't want to throw away these points I've got. So a lot of times the guys are almost thinking, okay, what can I do for Moto 2? Where can I be better? I'm going to change something with the bike, maybe my line selection.
Oh, well, everyone can talk about the wild swings the standings are going to have. AC didn't finish the second moto at our last race in Colorado. He had the bike problems that he was able to avoid the previous week when every other one of the Kawasaki riders had them.
But that was,
Glen Helen.
but after talking to Mitch Payton, that was something different.
It was a different problem.
Yes.
Okay. They just want to make sure everyone at least had a problem.
Yes.
Equal across the board.
You've got to spread it out evenly. Don't want any favoritism.
Okay, so a different bike problem. But either way, so he lost a bunch of points there. We mentioned the problems that Ferrandis had earlier in the season, not finishing either moto at Hangtown. But a nice recovery. The Yamaha guys looking to go 3-4, even 2-3 here, depending on if Plessinger can get Martin. Or that'd be 2-4.
Yeah.
They're pretty far back. I don't think Ferrandis has any shot at getting into that battle. But with how close this fight for fourth was, it went back, what, 4th through 12th. Just finishing in front of that, almost like he won the other moto that was taking place out on the track.
Yeah, exactly. It's been the battle of two different races. One for the lead and one for fourth.
All right, behind Cianciarulo should be Faulkner. There he is. And then it would be Alex Martin, who is in a point salvage mode after an early crash. He's in title contention as well.
Faulkner, see him struggling to get the drive out of that corner as he has a look over, sees a two-lap car come out.
Still a good gap, though, over Alex Martin. Here he comes.
But you got to tip the cap to Alex Martin. He has done some damage control this moto. He's just been plucking his way through the field from being on the ground up to 7th. Very impressive. Be great to see what he can do in Moto 2 with a good start.
Absolutely. And then Savaciu had come through 8th. Savaciu had his problems earlier, still on the charge, trying to get there. Going after Martin, so they both had their issues in this moto. They're both back in the top 10, just trying to get points. I know we keep saying that over and over, but the way this championship is beginning to unfold, gotta limit the damage on the bad days. That's what Osborne's been able to do. And how about RJ Hampshire back in action after breaking his ankle, I believe, at the Toronto Supercross, and back almost like he never left here. A good start this moto, running a solid 9th, was in that torrid fight the entire way. I'd feel good for him to be back in racing and grabbing a top 10. 9th.
Yeah.
Mitchell Harrison has made the move on Kyle Cunningham. There he is. That would be 10th place. And Cunningham, you see the yellow fenders. The Suzuki is 11th. Then Shane McElrath comes through. So one rider we've lost from this group is Sean Cantrell. Oh! Cunningham.
A little simple mistake there.
And Nichols gets by him as well. And we're waiting. Cantrell will be the next one. Cunningham back up underway. Hey, let's go back to the beginning of this moto before we get to the end. Motorsport.com whole shot replay.
Yeah, you could see from quite early up that straightaway, it looked like Jeremy Martin had the drive, had the best line to the first turn, doesn't run it too wide. Look, keeps it tight, keeps it clean. Osborne keeps it tight and actually is able to gain a few spots, but nice work there from Jeremy Martin.
And Jeremy is still second, but the white flag is out. Zach Osborne looking for another moto win. He had 2 career moto wins coming into this season, including the first moto at High Point just last year. 2 career moto wins, and he'll be working on his 3rd career moto win just this season now, which will be 5 total for his career if he holds on to win this one. So big gains, big improvements for Zach this year, and the Rockstar Husqvarna team has to be happy. They also, remember, have Jason Anderson in that 450 class. He's a championship contender. They've got it going on in both divisions.
Yes, they have. And that's been the beauty of racing lately, seeing 6 competitive brands out there. And in fact, we talked about it earlier. Every brand has won this year already in the first 3 nationals between 250 and 450. I mean, that's quite remarkable. It's great. It shows how healthy the sport of motocross is and how competitive it is. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. All right. We're headed toward the checkered flag here. This would be it in previous years, but now the track's been redesigned. Zach throwing some fist pumps in, but he's got to get up and down this hill one last time to take the first Moto win at High Point. That'd be, again, 2 years in a row taking the first Moto. Last year was big because it was the first one he ever got. This one is starting to look more and more routine. Yeah, he's getting used to circulating the last laps and celebrating. Zach Osborne takes the first Moto here at High Point.
What a well thought out race, very well executed. Did everything that I think a championship contender would do. Don't throw it away, don't do anything silly, bide your time. Remember, you got 35, 36 minutes to get her done.
And that's exactly what he did. He waited at the halfway mark, pulled the trigger on Plessinger, then went after Martin, had great lines around that tunnel jump and the downhill rollers off the start. And from there, Osborne was able to take it. Martin going to take second, and it looks like Plessinger going to take a hard-earned third. Again, in a moto that we weren't sure he'd even be able to race. So once again, 3 different bike brands and teams represented on the podium here. Oh, Osborne's happy. Back on top at Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Talk to him after this.
Welcome back to High Point. Now, the first 250 moto, Zach Osborne taking the win. It seemed like the first half of the moto, you were just following Jeremy Martin. You took the lead. You had that tunnel jump dialed. Did it take you a while to get to learn the track?
My arms were a little tight in the beginning, but I worked through it there with about halfway in, and felt really good on the bike, and just had good rhythm in all the ruts and stuff, and it felt great out there. I have to give it up to the Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me safe. Rockstar Energy, Husqvarna Factory Racing, my trainer Alden Baker, my wife Brittany, my mechanic Dave, my practice mechanic Keith, everyone back at the Baker's factory that keeps us going. Skosh, Paradise, Chevrolet, Fly, Garnet, Dragon, everyone that gets us up here. It's amazing to be here today. These fans are unreal, and I'm just really happy.
Congratulations, Zach Osborne with the moto win.
Yeah, nicely done, Zacho. Jeremy Martin wins the battle with Aaron Plessinger for second. Ferrandis wins the battle with Cian Ciarulo for fourth. Faulkner, Alex Martin, Savacci, Hampshire, Harrison, top 10. Here's page 2. Gelrath recovers for 11th. Chase Sexton finally has raced a pro race. He gets 19th in his debut. Back to Georgia.
Jeremy Martin taking second place in the first moto. Now, you got the whole shot, good start. Zach Osborne was behind you. Do you feel the pressure took you on a little bit, or do you just feel like you were getting comfortable?
No, I'm used to that. I've been in that position many times. Zach was riding really well. All the fans were cheering pretty loud, and the track's gnarly. Like I was fighting it. I had arm pump the whole time, and I was able to shake it with 2 laps to go, but it was too late. So looking forward to Moto 2. I love how hot it is, and all the High Point fans. I mean, they're on another level today. So it's good to hear them cheering.
Congratulations, second place.
Yeah, big crowd on hand today. High Point is back. It's one of the classic crazy stops in the circuit. You can hear those people today, and they're going to be really fired up for our second moto, which will air live on NBC starting at 3:30 Eastern Time. Second 450 moto, 250 moto, 4:30 NBCSN. Back to Georgia.
Wow, what a day for Aaron Plessinger. Now, first off, taking that practice crash, you did injure yourself. You were barely walking properly before the moto. Then you come out here, we know you're good on rough tracks. How did you manage to hold it together to end up with third?
You know, yeah, I had a bad get off in practice over there on one of the downhills. Just washed the front, and bar went into the groin area, so it was not good. But I just got off to a really good start. I don't even know how I did it. I was like second off the start or third, and just made the pass by Zach, and he stuck with me and Jeremy, and we just rode a nice race until he got by me, and kind of dropped back a little bit, but I made a charge, and too bad I couldn't get by Jeremy at the end. But you know, it was a great race for coming from crash in practice and 21st Cape pick. But I just like to give a whole shout out to the Yamalup Star Racing Yamaha team, FMF, Thor, Yamalup, Parts Unlimited, Alpine Star, 100%, Bell Helmets, Toyota, Vescandito, Rockstar, Dunlop, Dr. G, my whole family, all the fans out here at High Point, everybody watching back home, my grandmas, and everybody else. Thank you so much.
Very heartfelt race there from Aaron Plessinger. Congratulations.
Here's the upcoming schedule in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. We're going to Muddy Creek next weekend in Tennessee. Then Redbud for the annual July 4th weekend spectacular just over the Indiana state line in Michigan, then Southwick in Massachusetts. Now let's go back to Georgia.
Yes, what a performance from Dylan Ferrandis coming through the pack, ending up with 4th place. They say this track has a European style. Did you think that suited you?
No, I don't think it's European style. It was definitely a tough track. Good. The dirt was perfect, and was just difficult with the humidity, and it's really hot today. So I got a good start, but first corner I touched Zach, and I had to cut the gas. So I was top 15, top 10, I don't know, and I have to get back from the back for push really hard for finish 4. So I'm happy. It's a good moto. I don't give up. It was really difficult with the humidity, but I'm happy by the riding. The setup is really good, and now we're gonna try to get a good start for the second moto and fight for the win.
Congratulations, 4th place for Dylan. The other side of me, Adam Cincerello. Now, the humidity is something we're talking about. A lot of you guys live in Florida. This is what you trained for. So how do you feel it affected you?
It wasn't too bad. Obviously, it's hot today, but like you said, we're in Florida, and it's humid every day. But of course, you add race intensity into it, and it's just kind of a long day. You know, you got practice and 2 motos, and the intensity is high, like I said. So I'd like to pick a little bit better lines there at the end of the moto. I felt like I kind of got stuck and lost my rhythm, and then lost touch with the leaders. And I think that was Dylan that got by me there at the end. But all in all, feel good with how I'm riding. Kawasaki, Mitch Payton, Bruce over there, Bones, Adam, Ian, my mechanic Brandon, that's back home in Florida. All you guys, my mom, my dad, especially my dad on Father's Day. I'd like to say thank you to him, and yeah, hopefully we can bring it through for the second moto.
Good job. I'll let you get ready. Thank you, Adam.
And here's your Lucas Oil race recap of this 250s. More great starts from Jeremy Martin. He's gotten a couple hole shots this year. He's got another on the Geico Honda. Osborne and Plessinger were battling right with him off the start. And then Plessinger able to get Osborne, and then Osborne able to get back by.
Yeah, scrubs that jump, gets the inside. Key is to keep your rhythm through here by doubling through. And, well, it became his favorite spot later in the race, because watch here, once again, Jeremy does not double all the way through there. And Osborne gets the inside, and that would be the loss they would see from the number 16.
Yeah, set sail from there, 3rd moto win of the season for the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider, originally out of Virginia. Continues to roll as the points leader. We'll see, though. Remember, Jeremy Martin mentioned the arm pump throughout that moto, so if Jeremy's loose for Moto 2, could be another good battle between those two.
I think they'll be a little bit better in the second moto.
All right, well, these fans are looking forward to it. We'll be back in a half hour on NBC and on the NBC Sports Gold app. For Grant Langston and Georgia Lindsay, I'm Jason Wygant. We'll catch you for a half hour on NBC.